Hello, welcome to Biology for You. In this video, we are going to discuss microinjection. In the series of videos, we are going to discuss different processes in genetic engineering. As part of different transfection methods, here we are going to discuss this microinjection process. In this video, we are going to have the basic idea of the microinjection, what exactly it is, how it works, and how do we produce transgenic animal with that, and followed by what are the advantages and disadvantages of the microinjection procedure. So coming to the first point, the microinjection is basically a transfection method. And this is basically a physical approach, and it will directly introduce the target DNA into the host cell. Basically, these transfection methods are employed to make the host cell more suitable for the uptake of these recombinant DNAs. So, there are three kinds of transfection methods basically, and those are physical methods, chemical method, and biological methods. Here is the microinjection is one of the popular physical method of the transfection. So, this is carried by employing a very small tiny injections, and this is basically a microsurgical procedure to introduce the DNA directly inside the cell of the host cell, so that it will be eventually developed into a transgenic animal or plant. So there are many applications for this method. The major application is to produce transgenic animal or plant. So basically, the instrumentation design contains the major parts that are an injection needle, this is a micro injection unlike the normal injection. Basically, the needle, this micro injection is a needle is very small and tiny structure, very thin. The diameter of the micro injection needle is very small, so that it will be simply entering into the eukaryotic cell. So that small would be the micro injection needle. Generally, these needles are made up of the glass, and these glass tubes are molded until the its melting point, and that will be stretched into such a small and thin injection needles, and there will be a holding pipette and there will be support of two micro manipulators, and there is a support of microscope. So basically, this micro injection needle will introduce the DNA into the host cell, while the holding pipette will position the host cell. That means it holds the host cell in apt position, so that needle will go and enter into it and inject this DNA. While two micro manipulators are employed to support the injection needle and the pipette. That means with the support of micro manipulators, we can move this injection needle and the holding pipette as well. So there will be an employment of powerful microscope, under which this all procedure can be carried, so that we can visually monitor while the micro injection procedure is going on. So basically, there will be a cell that is going to be transformed here, and inside which there is a nucleus, and the holding pipette generally used to hold the host cell into the position this is host cell, and this is the holding pipette, and this is the micro injection needle which contains DNA solution in it. So this is the micro injection needle that is going to introduce the DNA inside the nucleus of the host cell, and a holding pipette uses the partial suction to hold this host cell, while the micro injection needle will use the hydrostatic pressure to inject the DNA inside the host cell, and the two micro manipulators will be useful to make them into the position. So one will support the holding pipette. We can move this holding pipette using micro manipulator, and we can move this injection needle using the other micro manipulator. And the microscope, this powerful microscope will be used so that all this procedure will be visually monitored, and that is what the apparatus contain. Basically here in the diagrammatic representation, it represents the nuclear injection. There will be other kind of micro injection, that is cytoplasmic injection. So based on the type of nucleic acid that is going to be introduced, or maybe the aim of the experiment will decide what kind of injection that need to be carried. So basically, if we introduce DNA with the cytoplasmic injection, so the DNA may eventually lost. Basically, cytoplasmic DNases will degrade the DNA whatever present in the cytoplasm. So that may eventually lost, and the half-life of the DNA that is introduced inside the cytoplasm will be maybe between 50 to 90 minutes or around. And the nucleus injection, this nuclear injection will be employed to introduce the DNA inside the nucleus of the host cell directly, so that it will be integrated. There will be a high chance of the introduction of this DNA, target DNA, inside the genome of the host cell, so that the integration event leads to the stable maintenance of the target gene in it, so that it will be maintained throughout the cell life, and also even during the cell divisions it will be properly propagated and segregated to the daughter cells, and the transgenic animals or the plants will be produced by the nuclear injection. So coming to the next discussion point, that is, how do we produce a transgenic animal using this micro injection procedure? Basically, we can produce transgenic plants or maybe also animals. These transgenic plants are produced by injecting DNA into the lumen of the developing inflorescence. And transgenic animals such as transgenic mice will be produced by injecting into the developing zygote. Basically, this developing zygote is wide choice because this is having, so once after fertilization, the male nucleus and female nucleus will take some time to fuse. So until then, the size of the cell will be bigger, and this developing zygote will have separate male pronucleus and female pronucleus. So one of the pronucleus will be used for the micro injection process, so that the DNA will be introduced into them, and basically it will be turned into a recombinant cell. So if we understand the whole process, generally we'll be starting with a target gene. So for our understanding, let us consider a target gene that is going to be introduced by this process, and that will be introduced into basically this target DNA first need to be converted into a gene construct. That means this gene construct will have, along with the target DNA, the controlling system will also be there in the gene construct. That means we are going to fuse, attach this promoter sequences, ribosome binding sites, and all kind of regulatory systems that are helpful for the expression of target DNA or the gene inside the host cell. So such construct will be prepared out of the target gene, and that will be introduced into a suitable vector, and that will be introduced using this micro injection procedure into the developing zygote of the mice. So this mice developing zygote will divide, and it gives structure called morula, and followed by blastocyst. So until then, at the morula stage or blastocyst stage, basically the cell divisions will be carried in vitro, and at this stage the embryo will be introduced into the foster mother. So the foster mother, in the oviduct of her, this embryo will be introduced, and this pseudo pregnant will helps the mice to develop in it. So inside its oviduct, the embryo will be developed, that will eventually develop into a transgenic mice or founder mice. And this transgenic mice basically will be tested for the presence of target gene using PCR techniques. Any kind of PCR technique will be employed to monitor the presence of the target gene inside these transgenic mice. So this is the example process by which generally the transgenic animals or plants will be produced using microinjection process. So coming to the next point, that is the basic advantages of this method. Basically, this micro injection is a very apt method and direct method of the introduction of the genes. So it gives a precise introduction of the DNA into the host cell. That means whatever cell you take, we can definitely say with 100% assurance. That means the transformation efficiency will be higher, and it is widely used. Widely used method because of its transcription efficiency. We can say precisely the content of the DNA that is going to be transformed. So in some small picoliters we can introduce DNA, so that we might be very sure about the amount of DNA that is going to be introduced and the copy number. And how many copies of the DNA we are going to introduce and in what dilution. Followed by, it is very much useful to produce transgenic animals and plants. And also this method is also applicable to introduce genes, maybe other kind of nucleic acids are also introduced using this microinjection procedures. That may be a regulatory RNAs and all. So these are the main advantages of the microinjection method. Coming to the disadvantages. So the basic disadvantage with this method is basically as it looks, it's not that easy. For looking it is easy, we can simply hold a cell, we can simply inject DNA into it, but it's not that easy because it's basically a laborious process and very slow process. That means we can introduce DNA into a single cell at a time. So we can operate a single cell at a time. Likewise, throughout the experiment, in one experiment, we may be able to introduce some few hundreds of the cells transformed. So one after the other, we can at max we can make some 100 cells to be transformed, and this is the major disadvantage of this procedure. So this is what the microinjection process is.